I have a habitual sense of this paycheck's going to be the last one.
It's all right.
I lived, my life is very different now than it had been earlier
Yes.
in my life.
But that earlier life, thoughts that you kept thinking, experiences that you kept having, so it's created a belief system that goes like,
this is it, it's done. And I'm going to get...
I could get in trouble again. I could get back into that place. I like the way it is, but I'm guarded that it won't stay this way.
I'm having a hard time convincing myself that where I'm at now, which is absolutely a result of allowing it into my life and attracting it deliberately.
So you've got some beliefs that serve you and some that don't. We want to just talk for a moment about the ones that don't and show you what to do with them. So just speak a little bit more of that to us. I'm worried that it won't last. I'm worried that this is temporary. I'm worried that I might fall back into some of the same slump. I'm worried that I might lose my momentum. Those kinds of things. All right, so that's logical, isn't it? Now, in the...
And I'll say I recognize those as impediments and...
but what to do about them. So we'll show you. So in the thought, this money may not last. This may be the last money that comes. What's the emotion? What's the emotion that best describes how that thought causes you to feel?
Fear.
That's accurate. And it's good to acknowledge that. So now, let's never mind the conditions, because the conditions have momentum going. They are the byproduct of a lot of stuff that's going on. You've got this well-being trajectory, and you've got this hindering trajectory. So you've got this wobble, and these conditions are there. There's enough momentum going that to talk about them is just going to cause confusion, usually, and more often than not, going to cause you to practice the vibration of what's causing the fear even more. You're just going to get more detailed about it, because that's what attention to something always does. So, but instead of doing that, let's take the fear, which is at the basis of the very general basis of this discussion, and we just want to ask you some easy to answer questions apart from those conditions. Just leave those aside for a little bit and focus upon the emotion of fear. Do you prefer the feeling of fear to the feeling of ease?
I far prefer the feeling of ease.
Ease. Do you prefer fear or fun?
Fun.
Do you prefer fear or interest?
I much prefer interest.
Do you prefer fear or clarity?
Clarity.
Do you prefer fear or love?
Love.
So now that was easy. So love and clarity and ease. Do you prefer frenzy or calm?
That is a more challenging question.
Do you prefer imbalance or balance?
Balance.
Do you prefer angst or ease?
Ease.
Do you prefer resistance or allowing? These are easy questions, we know. Almost so easy that it feels silly. But as he's answering these questions, he's focusing on who he really is. Do you prefer boredom or interest?
Interest.
Do you prefer sluggishness or vitality?
Vitality.
Do you prefer vitality or lethargy?
Vitality.
Do you prefer interest or boredom?
Interest.
Do you prefer happiness or sadness?
Happiness.
So when dollars are flowing, do they feel like bondage or freedom?
Freedom.
They feel like boredom or interest?
Interest.
Do they feel like lethargy or passion?
Passion.
So everything about everything that you want is already really, in a core way, active within you. And you just activated it so easily. In other words, there was just no contest whatsoever. It's so obvious where your natural vibration is. You just aligned with your absolute trajectory of who you are. In other words, just with that little exercise, there's no contradiction in your vibration right now. It was just clarity. You just lined up so easily with all of that. You found unconditional alignment, just with a little bit of focus. You just came out of the details that are more challenging into something that is not challenging at all. These were really no-brainers. It was so easy for you to find that. And so now we would like you to tell us again about the prosperity state that you're living in.
It's awesome.
It is.
Great.
It is awesome, isn't it? And
it is.
And it feels strong, it feels sure, it feels valid, it feels intense, it feels natural, it feels ongoing, it feels in the right place. In other words, right now, you just practiced the vibration of alignment. You took a subject that life has caused you to put into a very powerful place, because as we said, and we weren't kidding you at all, there is enough prosperity, financial prosperity in your vortex to keep you busy for 20 or 30 or 40 lifetimes. There's a huge amount of it there, and you just lined right up with it because you, for a moment, got out of the conditions that were the challenge. You deactivated all of those conditions that have been keeping that belief in an active place. And if you can do that often enough, that belief that has been in an active place for a while will not stay in an active place, because it didn't get big and therefore it's got a lot of momentum going and it's going to stay there. It's only a belief that keeps going because you keep adding attention to it. Did you hear that? Now, hear this. This is the best thing that you're ever going to hear, and you've never heard it before. And you're ready to hear it now. Why do you think this trajectory of well-being never peters out? Because the source within you has undivided attention on that. And when you stop giving your nearly undivided attention on the wobble stuff, it will peter out, and this is who you'll be. All that you were born, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? All that you were born with, and everything that you've added to it since, you see, that's a powerful trajectory that someone is tending to. And when you stop tending to the beliefs that don't serve you, they will become inactive in your experience. This is what's active in your experience. So what we just said to you is you added more momentum to these intentions that you've been holding for a long time just by not adding contradictory. Did you hear what we said? In other words, the cork floats. You don't have to hold it up there. What are you doing? I'm holding my vibration. I'm holding my vibration up there. You don't have to hold your vibration up there. Just don't pull it under the water with bogus, flawed premises. Ooh, that was so good. Yeah? Enough?
That was great.